Yeah, welcome back. Today we will see multiplexer. Okay, we will see the multiplexer. If you observe that multiplexer having so many definitions here, okay, but we will see one of the definition: transmitting more number of signals through a common channel. Transmitting more number of signals through a common channel is known as multiplexer, or it is a combinational circuit which has 2 power n number of inputs, n selection lines, and one output. Now multiplexer can also be called as data selector, or it can also be called as parallel to serial converter. Okay, now we will see the basic figure of multiplexer. Now if you observe that this is a basic figure of a multiplexer, okay, if you observe that this is a basic figure of a multiplexer, here if you observe that how many number of inputs are there, 2 power n number of inputs, how many number of selection lines, n selection line, but only one output. Let us consider y is an output, only one output. Now if you consider that if n is equal to 1, then you can able to realize a 2 by 1 multiplexer. That means, okay, you are having only two inputs here. If you observe that, let us consider here a and b are the inputs. 2 by 1 multiplexer, only one selection line. Let us assume that s is an selection line, y is an output. Now this is the 2 by 1 multiplexer here. Okay, now what is happening inside? If you observe that, what will happen inside means, let us see in the form of switches. Let us consider this is a, this is b. Okay, now this is y. Okay, now let us consider there is a switch here like this. The switch is going to be controlled with the help of selection line. Now I can able to say that if s is 0, if s is equal to 0, then what will happen means, then the data present in a will pass to y. Okay, if s is equal to 1, if s is equal to 1, then the switch is connected to b, then the data present in b will pass to y. That means in a 2 by 1 multiplexer, I can able to say that in a 2 by 1 multiplexer, I can able to say that what is the output means. If you observe that if s is 0, that means s complement, what is the data is going to be passed? A. Or if s is 1, okay, then what is the data is going to be passed? B. This is the Boolean expression of 2 by 1 multiplexer. If you talk about the truth table of it, now let us observe that selection line, okay, and there is an output y. If you observe that if s is 0, what is an output? A is an output. If s is 1, what is an output? B is an output. Now if you want to realize the logic diagram for that, if you observe that I required what? S, okay, and I required s complement here. I required s complement. Now if you observe that I will use different color, I will use black color. If s is 0, if you say s is 0, what should be connected? A. Okay, if s is 0, if you observe that it is, I will draw once again here. Now if you observe that if s is 0, a is selected. If s is 1, if s is 1, now which one is going to be select means b is selected, b is selected, and these two should be connected to an OR gate. Okay, this is y. This is the logic diagram of 2 by 1 multiplexer. Now, if you want to realize 4 by 1 multiplexer, now look out the 4 by 1 multiplexer here. If you observe that, I am going to realize 4 by 1 multiplexer. Observe very carefully. 4 by 1 multiplexer. Now, how many inputs the 4 by 1 multiplexers required means? 4 inputs. Let us consider 1, 2, 3, 4. Let us assume that A, B, C, D. This is 4. Only one output. Once again, I am going to consider it is only one output, which is Y. This is my 4 by 1 multiplexer. How many selection lines? Two selection lines, S1 and S0. Now, if you observe that if S1 and S0 are the selection lines, now one output Y. Since I am having two inputs, I can able to form four combinations here. If S1 and S0 is 0, A is selected, 0 1 B is selected, 1 0 C is selected, for 1 1 D is selected. Now if you want to write the Boolean expression, what is that? Y is equal to S1 complement into S0 complement into A plus, okay, S1 complement into S0 into B plus S1 into S0 complement into C plus S1 into S0 into D. Now this is the Boolean expression. Based on this I have written S1 complement S0 complement into A, S1 complement into S0 into B, and so on like this. Is it clear? This is, in this way you can able to realize 4 by 1 multiplexer. Okay. Now further, if you observe that if you want to realize 8 by 1 multiplexer, if you want to realize 8 by 1 multiplexer, how many inputs we required? 8 inputs we required. That means if you observe that 8 by 1 multiplexer, let us consider 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry, okay. Now if you observe that this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let us consider it is, okay, I0, I1, I2, I3, sorry for that, I3, I4, I5, I6, finally I7. Okay, only one output. Let us consider once again the output is Y. How many selection lines? 3 selection. Let us consider S2, S1 and S0 are the selection line. Similar operation you have to observe here. Okay, now if you observe that S1, S2, S1, S0 are the selection lines, are the selection lines. Okay, now only one output. If you observe that only one output, since we are having 3 selection lines, we can able to form how many combinations? 8 combinations we can able to form here. 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 triple 1. Now for this combination I1 is selected. For this one, sorry, this one I0 is selected. For this one I1, okay, I2, I3, I4, I5, I6 and I7. In this way you can able to realize, okay, 2 by 1 multiplexer, 4 by 1 multiplexer, 8 by 1 multiplexer, and so on, 16 by 1, whatever it may be. Is it clear? Okay, thank you very much for each and everyone. In the next class we will see, okay, construction of construction of high order multiplexer, construction or design of high order multiplexer, high order mux using high order mux using low order mux, using low order mux. Okay, now can anybody try to tell why it is called as parallel to serial converter? Okay, anybody try to guess and tell why? Because don't forget, whatever may be the multiplexer it is, how many number of selection line it is, how many number of inputs it is, it contains only one output. That's why it is going to be called as, see here, parallel. This is parallel. Okay, now only one output, that means serial. Parallel, and that is serial. If you observe that, that's why it is going to be called as parallel to serial converter. Okay, now why it is going to be called as data selector? Can anybody guess why it is going to be called as data selector? If you observe that, okay, in the 2 by 1 multiplexer I have shown one switch diagram. If you observe that, based on the selection line, one of the data is going to be select. Okay, that's why it is going to be called as data selector. Is it clear? Thank you very much for each and everyone. Have a nice day. If you are having any query, you can please comment it. Thank you very much for each and everyone.